Good afternoon and welcome to Plainsman Park. Welcome to Sophomore Day for the Northeastern Plainsman program. We've got a lot of sophomores that have given us a lot of great things over the last 2 years, and we would like to celebrate those sophomores right now. Our first sophomore is our goalkeeper, Samuel Neri. He came to us from Italy. He is a business management major and he plans to transfer to a 4-year school following his time here at Northeastern Junior College. Samuel's favorite memory here at NJC is the last game from last year when he, as the goalkeeper, nearly scored a goal, and he feels like he might be the king of the team in taking naps. Samuel Neri. We'll give the escort, Sarah Stone Robinson, plenty of time to get back and forth and get her steps in today. Our next sophomore is Hugo Brett, who came to NJC from France. He's a sports management major and he will transfer somewhere following leaving NJC. He has enjoyed meeting new people and playing soccer. And the little-known fact, Hugo is half Swedish. Hugo Brett. Our next sophomore here at NJC is Oli Veda. He came to us from England and has been majoring in psychology. He plans to continue to play soccer at a 4-year school after he leaves NJC. His favorite memory is going to a Bronco game with his teammates, and this is one of 25 countries he's been with. Ladies and gentlemen, how about another hand for Oli Veda? Our next sophomore is Oliver Strickland, who also came to NJC from England. He is excited after NJC to transfer to continue playing soccer and continue his studies. He has enjoyed going to Boulder with his international family, and he is studying sports medicine here at NJC. Our next sophomore for the Northeastern Plainsman, Oliver Strickland. Our next sophomore is Luca Mami, who came to us from Italy. He's a business and management major and is looking to transfer to a 4-year school to play both soccer and continue his studies. His favorite memories are the culture fair and his first goal this semester against Hastings. He has OCD, but we still love him. Everything has to be tidy, so he keeps the team clean. Luca Mami. Some. Our next sophomore is Takedo Yamazaki from Japan. He's studying sports management and plans to transfer to continue his studies after NJC. His height changes every time he introduces himself, so ask him every day how tall he is. How about a hand for Takedo? Our next sophomore is Dash Fowler, who came to NJC from Australia. He's studying history here at NJC and plans to transfer to continue to play soccer, whether it's at a 4-year or somewhere else. His favorite memory is dyeing the hair with the teammates this year. He's gifted in geography and knowledge and knows every country flag. Dash Fowler. Our next sophomore is Laurent Mondelers, who came to us from Belgium. He's been studying general science and plans to transfer to a 4-year institution. He's enjoyed meeting so many people and his girlfriend, and his fun fact, he speaks 3 languages. Our next sophomore is Alec Cracknell, who came to NJC from England. He's been studying sports management and plans to transfer to a four-year institution following NJC. He's enjoyed watching Colorado Avalanche ice hockey games in Denver, and the little-known fact is that he has an identical twin. How about a hand for all of our How about a hand for all of our sophomores and Mrs. Sarah Stone Robinson, who has been their escort, most of their escorts today.
I don't think next week, the week after.
Oh, you have Lamar.
Yeah.
Yep. They go to Lamar though?
Yeah. Oh. Well, as long as, like last weekend, Lamar postponed both of their games.
Right. Yeah.
So as long as, I mean, they played yesterday and they're gonna play today. So as long as the field's still fine by then.
Otherwise, they'll be both be here. They usually bring them across, and I don't have starters for either team, so. If I don't have starters, I can't announce them. I can, they wouldn't like it very much. Yep, that's fine. I agree.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Plainsman Park, and welcome into a Saturday afternoon of Region 9 soccer action on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. A triple header of Northeastern athletics for you today, as we have two soccer games and a volleyball game, all right here on 94.5 The Ranch. Northeastern Junior College has from plains to possibilities. That means the right educational path for you. Learn more about NJC online, njc.edu, and set up your tour today. Northeastern Plainsman, a tough one-goal loss yesterday to Laramie County Community College. In this, their final home game of the regular season. They've got to find points here at home to help their cause in the overall standings in this one. It's a tough one because WNCC is always a tough matchup for the Northeastern Plainsman soccer program, and the second game in as many days, but for both teams on equal playing footing this weekend, as opposed to last weekend where we saw the Otero Rattlers coming in having not played against the Lamar team on Friday. So the Northeastern Plainsmen and the Cougars both on equal, at least exhaustion footing, if you will. This is typically a pretty physical contest, no question about that, and I expect to be the same. How you are able to maintain that physicality in a positive manner is going to be the biggest key to this contest, and our key to the contest on the Eastern Plains Sports Network is made possible by Carpet Comfort Center, the largest selection of flooring in eastern Colorado. They will give you the professional installation with that great selection of flooring as well, whatever it is. Stop by in the Broadway Plaza Shopping Center in Sterling. The Northeastern Plainsmen will be in their black uniforms, the Cougars in their whites, blue letters and numbers for WNCC, Plainsmen with the white letters and numbers, the green goalkeeper jersey for the Northeastern Plainsmen, and the pink goalkeeper jersey for Western Nebraska as the two teams walk out. Let's meet our starting lineups here today. Good afternoon and welcome to Plainsman Park for this afternoon's Region 9 contest between the Western Nebraska Community College Cougars and your Northeastern Plainsmen. Let's meet the starting lineups for this contest. First for Western Nebraska Community College. Wearing number 1, Tomas Guzman. Wearing number 4, Chris Aaron Kadja. Wearing number 5, Yidel Hernandez. Wearing number 6, Nicholas Salvaggio. Wearing number 7, Alvaro Abil. Wearing number 10, Anthony Lemos. Wearing number 15, Juan Macias. Wearing number 18, Pau Vera Montoya. Wearing number 22, Sean Kim. Wearing number 24, Oscar Molina. And wearing number 33, Jean Will Stanley Lord. Western Nebraska Community College is coached by Isia Ingram. Now your starters for the Northeastern Plainsmen. A sophomore wearing number 1, Samuel Neri. A sophomore wearing number 2, Hugo Brett. A sophomore wearing number 3, Ollie Veda. A freshman wearing number 5, Ethan Banks. A freshman wearing number 8, Harry Marr. A freshman wearing number 9, Liam Anaberry. A sophomore wearing number 17, Ware Mondelares. A freshman wearing number 21, Philip Barta. A freshman wearing number 24, Will Newell. And a sophomore wearing number 27, Alec Cracknell. The Northeastern Plainsmen are coached by James Westfield. The Northeastern Plainsmen will be going from our right to our left in this first half, and the WNCC Cougars the other direction. Our first half on the Eastern Plains Sports Network is made possible by Better Electric. Better does matter when it comes to all of your electrical work. Whether it's residential work, commercial work, agricultural work, Better at Better Electric, 970-521-1030. Actually, other direction, NJC will be going left to right, WNCC right to left. And Samuel Neri will be between the pipes for the Northeastern Junior College Plainsmen. A little bit more tolerable on the weather today, 77 degrees at this kickoff with a wind out of the northeast at 6 miles an hour. We might push just over 80
today. There was some rain in the forecast for this afternoon, about 4 or 5 o'clock, but I think that has backed off here recently, so that will be a welcome sight. We've been getting rain at weird times, get them in the middle of the night as opposed to during the day as we have in times gone by. And this big one as we're in the second weekend of the regional schedule, especially for the Northeastern Plainsmen. You don't play next weekend with Western Wyoming not having a men's team. You just have the one game the weekend after for Lamar. And then you close with your Final Four on the road after Lamar. So Final Five on the road, I guess, if you will, in conference play. You want to take points at home. We've talked about that in past broadcasts. You want to get those points that you can at home, and for NJC, having only picked up 3 points at home so far, you desperately need all 3 here today. Plainsmen will have the opening kickoff on this Saturday afternoon. I've covered several NJC WNCC contests over the history of the Plainsmen and Cougar soccer programs, and always seems to be something early, an early strike, an early goal, an early something that gets things going on. A header out of the backside for Western Nebraska as the Plainsmen try to work in. Big center back for the WNCC Cougars in John Will Stanley Lord from Canada. He's going to be a challenging center back for the Plainsmen to deal with. Plainsmen push the ball out on the near touch line off Alvarado Abil. He's a sophomore from Spain, and the Plainsmen will get the throw-in from Ethan Banks, the freshman from England. Banks, one of the guys that sports dyed blonde hair. Several of the team did that this fall, and his throw-in is booted out by Anthony Lemus, the sophomore from Texas. Men first, women second. Women will start at the after the conclusion of the men's game, and they have an opportunity to warm up. Throw in, give back, rip in for Banks on the far side. Plainsmen get it in. A foot is blocked. As Barta tried to bring it in, and the Cougars turned to counter up the pitch. That's Molina pushing up the far side, or pardon me, Shun Kim pushing up the far side for them. All working back on the defensive side of things, and John Will Stanley Lord will spearhead out of the back for the WNCC Cougars. Plainsmen come out, the high press, try and work over the top of it. Will the WNCC Cougars to Molina on the near side, and a foul on Molina. Give the Plainsmen the possession back. So first whistle of the game comes about 2 minutes in. Ball worked through the middle of the pitch. Dribble around and a drop onto the near side. Trying to turn forward was Henneberry for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Taken off of his foot by Nicolas Salvaggio, the freshman from Spain. Force a play all the way back on goal and a clear out up the far line to try and find an angle. But the Plainsmen win the battle for the ball at the center of the pitch, and it's worked down into the corner and all out on the inline for a goal kick on the Western Nebraska side. 2.5, nearly 3 minutes into the affair. Plainsmen have tilted the pitch early onto the offensive side. Roll comes near side and rolls out on the line for a midline throw-in for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Throw once again comes from Banks for NJC. Header into the fans on the near side. Able to pick up some real estate and add a few bodies in the front side of the pitch. Throw in, headed back out toward the same spot. So the Plainsmen will look to work it in. NJC scored first yesterday, but then gave up 2 second-half goals, less than 3 minutes apart, in losing to Laramie County 2-1. Throw in headed up, footer down into the box. Cracknell trying to do some work. He gets past the defender. His cross is blocked and pulled back for Western Nebraska. Deep on their defensive corner. Cougars will find some room and work it out up the near side, and a quick streak for a Beal as he gives chase. Samuel Neary forced outside the 18 to push it toward the near touch line and repossess the ball for NJC. A little too aggressive work for Veda as he tried to work out of that center back. Ball ends up back on the foot of WNCC on the far touchline. Across the middle for the Cougars, it's coming. Molina works his way back to the far side. Down into the corner, the Cougars funnel it. Either side has put a shot out. Haven't really had that real great opportunity in the first 4 minutes of this affair. Stanley Lord, near side to Lemus, who slips, then gets his footing, pushed back, and shoveled down into the near corner for Molina. Molina fires a cross in that's headed out by the defense to the top of the 18. Cracknell tries a quick foot counter onto the far line, but it still fell on the WNCC foot. Good forechecking defense, though, from Philip Barta, the Slovakian freshman, to really wreak some havoc. Ball rolled down to the corner and a chase coming onto the near side. Aggressive work. And a foul whistled once again. Down into the corner as WNCC tried to possess it, and the two players conversed briefly in positive manner after the work down in the corner. Quick restart for NJC. Try to flip it forward. It sails over everybody's head. Working on that crosswind, and WNCC will scoop it up in the box with their goalkeeper, Tomas Guzman. Sophomore from Brazil. Cougars not looking to take up that big real estate on the start like NJC. They're just keeping it on the ground, trying to maintain some possession time right now. Cross sails high. Veda comes up and calms it down. Plainsmen push it back. Cougars step in. Ball fires in from a long, long ways, and it's scooped up by Guzman. Big step up for Fowler, who launched it in from about 40. Never really challenged actually going in, but Cougars counter over the top of it a little too far on their pass toward the middle of the pitch. Didn't get it to the far line, and swallowed up by Neary, and the Plainsmen roll it back in on Neary, who spins it out toward the center line. Second wave of offense pushes far side with Veda leading it on the far line. Rolls down into the corner looking for a cross in. Sails over everybody's head. Calmed down by the defense. And Molina quickly pushing near side with Abil. Hounded by the defense, and the foul will be on NJC as Abil was drugged down by Warren Mondelares. 7 minutes in to half number one. It's a 30-ish, 35-yard spot. Good 15, 20 feet off the near line. Cougars will form some opportunities forward offensively. Alvaro Abil will put the boot into it, into the heap of humanity, the header up into the box, calmed down by Stanley Lord. His cross intended far side for Molina. It was footed by NJC and out on the far line. So it's a deep throw for the Cougars as they look to serve one back in. Plainsman defense calms it down, but right onto the foot of the Cougars. Stanley Lord pushes back over near side to Lemus. To Kaja, the Canadian, in the box. His shot attempt blocked high into the air and then skied back out toward the center stripe. Takes a hop off the ground, header forward, and NJC not letting it get in. High defensive line for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Battle for the ball on the near side between Banks and Abeal. Abeal trying to work into the corner. Ball's taken away by Veda in the middle of that push. Plainsmen possess it in a scoreless affair. Half number one up the near side, and it sails out of bounds. Sydney Regional Medical Center doesn't want you letting that injury keep you out of the game. SydneyRMC.com for more information. Scoreless in this opening half. A lot of battles for the ball. Kind of feeling one another out, and you can definitely tell second game in as many days for each of these teams with the way this one is started. There's game twos in as many days inside Region 9 soccer, wars of attrition. You don't oftentimes see as many goal scores. So we get a handball right near the center circle on NJC, so it'll be Western Nebraska ball. Cougars a build from the back once again. Sails over the head of the intended target, and the Plainsmen roll it back in on Samuel Neary, and Dash Fowler's play allowed the Plainsmen an opportunity to boot it big up over the top. Trying to run it down is Barta. He's got Cracknell with him. Cougars elect to roll back on their goalkeeper, Tomas Guzman, to settle things down. All spun out to the center stripe, nicely calmed by the Cougars, but they couldn't get the second touch. Banks. Rolls it over to Mondelares, who's pushing with him out of that defensive side. Plainsmen put 5 defensemen out there and vary on who is pushing forward into that midfield role. It's almost a 4-layered offense. We've talked about that, or a 4-layered formation. We've talked about that before, almost a 3-3-2-2 or 2-2-3-3 going from the front to the back. Plainsmen win the ball in the middle of the pitch. Cougars take it away. Good work in the middle there by Abeal. He's been the hardest worker through the first 10 of this one. Salvaggio will try to set things up for WNCC in the middle of the pitch. Roll far side. Plainsmen get a foot on it and taken away by Harry Marr in the middle back of that defense. They set to build from the back, Roy. Through to Cracknell, onto the far side for Veda. Veda forward, quick jump for Henneberry down into the corner. Henneberry, he pushes down off the end line. Ball cleared off his foot by the retreating Anthony Lemus. Plainsmen pick it up. Cross is knocked down, and Lemus picks it out once again as Veda attempted to serve it in. As the first push for Henneberry, the Australian, was exceptional and didn't have anybody with him to be able to prevent the defense from doubling him down into the corner. Throw in. Far side. Foul whistled on Western Nebraska as Hugo Brett was taken down toward the far touchline. About a 30-yard extreme right of the goalkeeper for Guzman to handle with here. Plainsmen work it in and on, and Guzman loses it out of his hands, slides in to block the shot as it was fired by Henneberry, and then floated in and gobbled up by Guzman off that far side for NJC. So the Northeastern Plainsmen getting some good looks early in this one. Good little work by Newell to get himself free, and then he pushes down into the right corner. His cross is blocked out deep on the line. So a very deep throw for NJC. Will be taken by sophomore Alec Cracknell. 14, almost 15 minutes into the first half. We're scoreless at Plainsman Park. Throw into the box, headed up by Stanley Lord for Western Nebraska. And a quick run out on the near side. Footed forward and calmed down by Montoya. Montoya taken away by the Plainsman and Banks, but then Banks trying to push on a reverse cross is wrestled away by Molina. Cougars pressured in that middle third by NJC. Push back and work out of the back. Very good possession team is Western Nebraska. Hasn't really matriculated into sustained offense yet. This will mentally and physically wear you down as the game progresses. The team just continuing to push forward on you. And JC gets the ball knocked down as Montoya tried to serve it forward. Banks spreads it in out of the backside, but again, WNCC takes it away with Salvaggio this time. Coming up with the takeaway. Stanley Lord out of the back. Working toward the near line. He's got a big leg and boots it high forward, trying to run underneath it, or the Cougars. Header by NJC and then footed back toward the middle third. Calm down. It'll be Cracknell that comes up with a calm down. Roll all the way back onto goal and let Samuel Neary cover some real estate with a big boot to the center stripe. Hugo Brett calms it down near the midfield line. Ball footed forward. Harry Marr trying to run it down, but cannot, and it rolls out on the far line. 0-0. Plainsmen have taken 4 shots. 3 have bounded in. Best one was off a save on the free kick following a foul on the far side that was dropped by Guzman, but he maintained great position and blocked the ensuing shot from Hugo Brett. Ball goes out on the far line. Plainsman with the deep throw gets down in to Barta. Barta hits a cross that sails high of the goal and out on the end line. Don't want to jinx it, but from the soccer I've watched from this Plainsman team this year, this is the longest sustained offense they've had. I didn't see yesterday's game where they got the early goal. But this team oftentimes comes out very slow on the start, and that's not been the case on this Saturday. Through ball to Molina up the near side. Good defense by Warren Mondelares. Mondelares trying to push back through the middle. He takes one away. Cougar player goes down on the takeaway and gets up and runs without a limp. Ball rolled down into the corner. Ball taken away for WNCC. Dash Fowler mishandles it. Good help over defense for the Northeastern Plainsmen by Veda to push it to the far touchline and allow the rest of the defenders to get back after the push. Down in the corner, Montoya. He hits a cross, sails over everybody's head, and kept in on the near line. Good chase down for WNCC by Abil. But the Plainsmen, the ones that took it away, Will Newell. It's attempted to be tackled off his foot once and twice, and the second time as he booted it past the tackle, hurtled over the defender, and it went out off of him. Cougars with the throw-in, give back to the man doing the throw-in, and Anthony Lemus, and goes out on the near sideline. Plainsmen and WNCC scoreless, 18 minutes in. to half number one of this Region 9 men's soccer contest. Part of a Saturday triple header of NJC Athletics here on 94.5. The Ranch, Hugo Brett off the far side. Brett was offside behind the last back line of the defense. So they'll have to retreat back and work on the defense in this half one. Bank of Colorado wants you to apply for the loan you need for your dream home fully online, or you can visit with one of the many local agents at Bank of Colorado all across the state of Colorado. Bank of Colorado, member FDIC. Through ball through for WNCC to the near side. Abeel had an angle, but then tried to cut it back across the middle with two defenders pursuing on him, and NJC takes it away from with Ethan Banks taking it off his foot. Banks out of the back right corner. He'll put the boot into it, but comes up way short of his intended target. Header goes out on the near line for a Northeastern throw near the center stripe. It's probably the best offensive push the WNCC has had in this young game. Having been on the road yesterday, WNCC tosses it in and a quick thread through over the head of Henneberry. Henneberry tries to run it down, but it tumbles in on Tomas Guzman. Guzman able to scoop it up. Cougars pressed as it's run through from Lemus. Cross onto the far side for Kaja. Kaja onto the foot of Montoya. Montoya over to Macias, and Macias was taken down. Undercut as he attempted to make a move back to his right. Second Plainsman foul of this one. So WNCC just past the middle stripe will look to tilt that pitch and work the offense in. Kaja crossing near side. Skips onto the foot of Lemus, who then drops it down into the corner for Molina. Molina, high cross, sails over everybody's head to the far touch line. And it'll be a very deep Northeastern throw. Throw in taken away by WNCC. Plainsman trying to battle to get it back. Push it back out, and it's cobbled up in the middle of the pitch by Henneberry. Henneberry a touch too long on that. Sail out coming towards us. And it'll be a Cougar throw near the center stripe. Cougars build out of the back with a big ball over the top from Kaja again. Header down into the box. We have a foul. Is it on NJC or is it on WNCC? Each side seems to think it might be on the other, but I believe it is on the Northeastern Plainsmen on that 50-50 battle forward from WNCC. It's the third Plainsman foul of the contest. In a very dangerous spot just outside the top of the 18. The Cougars have put the ball down. Plainsman Wall will be walked back. Alvaro Abeel will be the one putting the boot into it after the third foul of this first half on the Northeastern Plainsmen. About halfway through the frame, we're scoreless. Cougars have actually not put a shot up or on. This one bangs off the wall, never gets through. Abeel then sails one wide left of the goal. And that 4A will allow the first subs of the contest to come in. WNCC with a pair of substitutions as the Plainsmen come away unscathed from the foul. Tamaka Kamaya from Japan, one of two that comes in for WNCC. Jeff Liguri, the sophomore from Florida, will take over that striker position on the front of the Cougar shape. He stays scoreless. Cougars take the ball away as the Plainsmen have struggled the last 5 minutes of this game to possess the ball. Cougars starting to wear that down. Battle with two players ending up on the pitch, and NJC comes away with the possession. Barta gets it taken off of his foot, and turn and running is Kaja up the near side. Kaja to Kim. Kim works in. Hugo Brett steps across, forces a far out, and Banks will take it away. Barta, the intended target, and we get a foul on WNCC as Barta was flung to the pitch by Jean-Will Stanley Lord. Fourth foul on the Cougars in half number one. It'll just be about 5 feet off the near touch line for the Plainsmen to put in play for Harry Marr. Marr puts the boot into it as everybody enters into the 18. Ball bounces around. Henneberry picks it up, fires it in, bangs off a defender, never gets through. Back out to Marr. Marr serves it far side. Barta, header back to the near side and scoots just out on the end line. So the Plainsmen tried a little misdirection with the header back across, hoping to find the foot of Banks, but Banks just couldn't quite chase it down. WNCC out of their back, over the head of Hugo Brett. Ball stays in possession of the Cougars, but they're forced back because of Brett's pressure. He then gets high line, and the Cougars have numbers. An odd man rush down the far touch line. Rolled in, and Oliveira covers it nicely to back it back out. Then the entry in from Camilla. The Plainsmen take it away. Hugo Brett bolting up the far line. Brett. Back off to Anneberry. Then to Barta, who loses it off his foot, and the Cougars get a seam but don't have numbers to come back the other way, and the Plainsmen quickly wrestle it away. But then Warren Mondelaars can't fully possess it, and quickly up the near side comes Kim. Mondelaars takes it off his foot, and NJC will try and counter through the far side. Hugo Brett pushes back. Cracknell, too hot for Brett to chase it down. 27 minutes in. Scoreless between NJC and WNCC. All pushed away for the Cougars in the middle. Battle for it. 30 yards off that end line, and WNCC rolls it all the way back on their goalkeeper, Tomas Guzman. Guzman tries to push it near side, and NJC nearly takes it away again. Good creep up there for the Plainsmen from Banks. Roll forward for the Cougars, and Oliveira got an arm around the hip of Liguri. So he's whistled for the foul just a couple paces beyond the center stripe. Western Nebraska will have the kick to try and tilt the pitch back their direction. Stanley Lord puts it into play. As the Cougars again continue just to elect to try and build. Now looking to cover a large amount of real estate. Stanley Lord to Kim, back to Stanley Lord, dumped down toward Lemus, who wanted to cross, but the ball came up a little far of his right, and sub at the line for Western Nebraska once again. And allowed back on is Oscar Molina, who will replace Sean Kim. So now midfield getting a brief breather. Molina steps back to the front. Traditional 3-3-4 form for Western Nebraska with 4 defenders in the back, 3 midfielders, and 3 strikers. Lemus, left back defender, rolls it forward, battle for the ball. Slipping on the pitch, trying to get to it was Molina, and the ball goes out off of NJC as Will Newell battled with his fellow numbered 24 for possession. Plainsman booted up high out of the center back, footed toward the mid-stripe, and will roll all the way back on the WNCC goalkeeper. What they're hoping to do with this is, knowing as aggressive as NJC has begun this game, hasn't been as aggressive the last 10, but the first 20 they were super aggressive. Maybe you get an over pursuit and some numbers working back through. Big ball over the top for Abil, and Salvaggio's play is quickly quelled by Samuel Neary. Neary boots it out to the midfield stripe. Collision, and it is NJC with the foul, their 5th foul of half number 1. Plainsman. Final home game. We honored their sophomores before the start of the game. That was really cool. Stanley Lord off the near side. Chips it in, header up high. The Cougars work it down with Oscar Molina. Molina foots it forward to Kim. Touch in on Macias. Macias toward the left side of the goal from Lemus, and Lemus trying to work it on that end line. He'll earn the first corner of the game for the Western Nebraska Community College Cougars. So the Plainsmen will have to defend the first corner. 31 minutes in. Scoreless between NJC and WNCC on the men's side. Women, our second game of our doubleheader this afternoon. Corner is sailed in and behind the goal, so unsuccessful for Western Nebraska on the first corner earned to the game for either club. Gordon Insurance wants you to be prepared for everything life throws at you. Car insurance, life insurance, farm insurance, and crop insurance. It's all at Gordon Insurance, 970-526-6139. Collision on the far line, and the Plainsmen are whistled for the foul again after the goal kick was offline from where the receivers, I think, anticipated it to coming from. So WNCC will have Yadiel Hernandez, the sophomore from Puerto Rico, to put the boot into it. He's the one that took the corner. He crosses it across to Stanley Lord, hoping to catch the Plainsmen over pursued for coverage. Stanley Lord works into the middle, and the Cougars run through. Kamaya rolls it in, knocked down, ball fired in, and an easy scoop up. Juan Macias gets the shot, but not a lot of power behind it for Samuel Neary's first save this afternoon. Plainsmen have 5 shots, 3 of which have gone on goal. WNCC open to tip it and maybe take a advantage heading to the locker room, but that won't help as Oscar Molina attempting to take the ball off the foot of Alec Cracknell had the arm in the back and has whistled for the Cougars' 5th foul this afternoon. Banks puts the boot in, launching it way forward, headed out for WNCC by Anthony Lemus. He was hoping to calm that one down in the defensive side, not just knock it out, because that just gave NJC a good 40 additional yards of real estate that they can occupy and set their offense up. Out of the middle back, Oliveira crosses it across to Dosh Fowler, then all the way back to Samuel Neri. Hard pressure for WNCC, hoping to force a turnover. Ball footed forward, calmed down by Cracknell as he works toward his right. Cracknell pushes down into the corner for Newell. Newell hits a high cross spinning. Barta comes in. He heads it down. Picked up off the foot of Mondelaars and blocked before he can get through. Out to the top and a shot wide right of the goal for Harry Marr. But again, NJC finding some great offensive pressure. I was beginning to think maybe I was the bad luck charm because I don't think I've seen this team take 6 shots in a game this year. They have 6 in the first 35 minutes of this game. Definitely a different mindset offensively than what we saw just 7 days ago against Otero. Goal kick rolls out near the center stripe, so it's a Plainsman throw. Launched and headed up. Quickly calmed down. Take away near the middle for the Plainsman from Will Newell. Newell rolls it over to War. War back to Banks. Banks tumbles it down into the corner. Run down for the Plainsman by Cracknell. Cracknell, a floating cross in. Save before it can be put ahead on by Barta. Great defense by Guzman. We remain scoreless. Probably about 10 minutes left in this first half. Cougars quickly whip across the far side. Hard tackle away. Good work to get all ball there. And then WNCC trying to take it back from Oliveira. He ends up on the pitch. Plainsman, quick restart. Trying quickly working near side. Cracknell. Forward to Newell. Newell sprinting up the near side after he beats the defense. Help across for Stanley Lord, and he rips it. But he ripped it out on the end line, so it's the first Northeastern corner of the afternoon. Subs on for NJC for the first time in this game. Mateo Verdame Rousseau will be one of the 2 that are at the line. He will come in the midfield role, replacing Liam Henneberry, who garnered the start today. NJC also bringing in Luca Mami. Luca, he'll work as a forward. Kick in, header up by the defense, out toward the midfield stripe. Hugo Brett tries to float it in. It's headed out for the Cougars and out toward the center stripe. Veda, he launches it up the far line, quickly calmed down by Cracknell, who moves to that left wing as opposed to the right wing where he began the contest. Upon the entry of Luca. Ball goes out off NJC. No, off NJC. WNCC just trying to throw too far up the sideline. Throw in headed out by NJC, but a good 25 yards gained on that throw by WNCC. Throw in battle. Ball ends up on the foot of the Cougars. Plainsmen have a lot of numbers back. So peeling off is Tamaki Kamaya. He'll come across the near side and allow more bodies to build up. Lemus works in. Lemus rolls it through. Plainsman defense pushed across. Oliveira was on the hip of Jeff Ligiri and prevented the ball from getting to him. He's down as he prevented that offensive chance. Just the one real offensive opportunity for Western Nebraska, and it was calmed pretty quickly in this game. Oliveira will get his foot or his shoe put back on his foot before we get back underway on a throw-in. Probably 15 yards, 20 yards off the end line for Western Nebraska. Luca battling, ball off a Plainsman head with a battle between two Plainsmen and a Cougar. Samuel Neary scoops up the ball, but then the throw-out can't be possessed by Luca near the center stripe, and WNCC will keep it. B&J Plumbing knows that when plumbing problems arise, you need them to help take care of it quickly. 970-522-3828. Big ball forward knocked down for WNCC, but then their through balls taken away. Hugo Brett battling on the near line. Ball goes out off of Western Nebraska, so it's a throw-in for NJC. Closing minutes of half number one. We remain scoreless between NJC and WNCC. Probably about 5-6 left in this first half. No clock, but we are just trying to give ourselves a gauge based on when we start. Wara trying to press forward, and a clear by Kaja rifles off his head and out on the goalkeepers, or out on the inline, so a goalkeeper kick for Western Nebraska. Again, no big balls through this one by the goalkeeper. Just build it off the ground and possess and wear you down. WNCC quick ball through near side for Molina. He chases it down in the corner, looking to serve it across. He's denied that service until he's way on the end line and has to bend it back out, which allows the opportunity for Banks to run it in. To Luca Mami, far side. Luca, 4-on-3, up the pitch. Defense comes by to help out as Philip Barta will pick through. Barta rolls it down to Luca. Cross, knocked in, kicked by the goalkeeper as it got between the wickets of Barta. And Guzman was able to thwart that offensive chance. Ball just was between the legs, and Barta could not get his body turned to turn it on goal. Cougars try and counter off that offensive push over the top. It skips down and deep into the corner and out on the end line for a goal kick for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Sub in for NJC on that ball out on the end line. Takedo Yamazaki will be the new man in for Alec Cracknell. Takedo's been a high-energy guy when he comes off the bench this year for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Samuel Neary, after this start, will put the boot into it on the right side of the 18 to Barta, and then the chip ball forward. Takedo giving a chase for Stanley Lord, and he hits a big boot out toward the center stripe. Cougars get a foot on it and roll it forward, but nobody able to chase it down. Miss hit for Neary as it heads toward the far touchline, but then a miss receive for WNCC. Ball loose in the center of the pitch, and the Cougars have Salvaggio win the battle. 3-4 minutes left in this first half. Stanley Lord rolls it near side. Serve in, but no Cougar there, and the big boot over the top for the Plainsman from Oliveda. Header to the near side. Calmed down. Rolled back on goal. And Guzman. Then the goal clear to the near side. Not touched by anybody. So it's an NJC throw. Can you get something in the closing minutes of this first half to reward the work that you put together in this first half? 8 shots, 4 of them on goal. Definitely have won the quality of possession battle as NJC, even though WNCC may have won the time of possession battle. Throw in, near corner, Brett, service across, War, high header over the top of the goal, and another good push for NJC as they have maintained for the entirety of this first half, the quality looking offense. Cougars, second day on the road. You take 0-0 at halftime, especially winning the possession battle the way they have. And having been held to just one shot the entire first half, hey, we'll go 0-0 to halftime and see if we can't find something in the next 45. Ball up in the air near the center. Calm down for the Cougars from Salvaggio. Header back toward the middle. To Cato. Nice battle for him to be able to take the ball away, and Luca works it down onto the far side. Mateo looking to run it down, and offside on the play was Mateo. I believe, or did we have a foul before we got there? So the Plainsmen on that offside will have the opportunity just to calm this down in the final minutes of the first half. Cougars trying to get into the right spot to maybe see if they can't leak one through. Plainsman defense battles it nicely. Takes it away near the center stripe, and that'll be the... We'll have a whistle at halftime as we are scoreless. The Northeastern Plainsmen 8-9 shots in the first half, 4 on goal. Neither side, though, has been able to put it in. The Northeastern Plainsmen and WNCC Cougars scoreless at half on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We welcome you back to Plainsman Park as we head to half number 2. The Northeastern Junior College Plainsmen and the WNCC Cougars scoreless as we get the second half underway. The Plainsmen in half number 1, 9 shots, 4 on goal. The Cougars 1 shot on goal. Obviously scoreless, nobody's put it in. As we head to the second half, the Plainsmen now going from right to left in their blacks, and they will have possession of the ball just about a minute into this second half, which is brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan, the home team for your home loan. You can find out about all their banking services offered, equitable-savings.com, or stop in at one of the many locations across the area. Plainsmen, they didn't win the possession battle. We don't have a fancy little, possession calculator or anything like that, but I'm betting it was about 60-40 possession in favor of WNCC, but quality of possession was much better for NJC in the first half, obviously by the lopsided number of shots they had put together. 6 fouls for each team through the first half. As we begin half number 2, the Plainsmen get Liam Henneberry back in, so starting 11, same as the first half for the Plainsmen. Cougars made one change, I believe. Yadiel Hernandez, a sophomore from Puerto Rico, is in that right back position, but he came on pretty early in the first half, so it feels like he's been on the pitch. Ball worked in. Montoya puts the ball off the foot and a rifle in and on for Oscar Molina, saved by Samuel Neary. Minute and a half into the second half, the save will lead to a corner, the second corner of the game for WNCC. This one will be a far side corner, and Nicholas Salvaggio will be taking the corner this time. Unsuccessful corner, didn't even get in front of the goal end line in the first half. Salvaggio puts the right in, low line drive, bangs off a body, high in the air, battle for the ball on the left side of the 18. Big shot, bangs off of a defender and out on the end line, or was it just directly out off the take from Christ Aaron Kaja? No signal, it was off of his shot, so a shot wide of the goal. Cougars already have more shots in the first 2 minutes of the second half than they did in the entire first 45. Plainsmen, quick start off the goal kick, out of the middle. Oliveda tries to launch it forward. Ball headed away by Kaja in that center back position. Cougars turn and quickly run up on it. Alvaro Abil works it through. Ball knocked down by the Plainsman defense. Kept possession for the Cougars by Montoya and rolled out on the far side for Molina to chase down. He works into the corner. Double for the Plainsmen, denying the clean cross through, and an easy scoop up by Samuel Neary for NJC. We work into the second half. The Northeastern Plainsmen definitely need to find the front foot here. They need to get on front. You're on your own home pitch. You aren't traveling like WNCC is. The longer this game stays 0-0, the more likely it is that WNCC is going to win the game. As we talked about at the beginning for the Northeastern Plainsmen, just 3 points in their first 3 games in conference season, all at home. Everything else is on the road. You need to get 6. You need to find something here. Cougars work it in. Hard tackle blocked. And the foul came late on the tackle from Oliver Strickland. So the first foul of the second half on NJC. They're 7th in the game. Just to the left of the 18. The right of the goalkeeper from his vantage point. And this will be the second dangerous penalty that WNCC has been awarded in this one, or second dangerous foul, and the kick to be put in this time by Oscar Molina. Abil took the last one that rifled right into the wall. Walls marched off. Be a 4-man wall in front of Montoya. This foul was earned by Lemus and his work across in. Montoya rifles it in and an easy scoop up for Samuel Neary off the foul, so no harm on the foul, but the third shot already in this second half, not even 5 minutes in. It remains scoreless. Plainsman dribble through far side. Newell possessing it too long, taken off his foot by Oscar Molina. Molina tries to work it in. Tackle again by Strickland, and we will stop the clock as there will, I believe, be a card here. Or was it inside the 18? It was inside the 18 this time. So it'll lead to a penalty kick for Western Nebraska on the foul in the box. Minute number 50. Cougars already with 3 shots, 2 on, and they get a PK on the foul inside the 18. Molina earned the penalty. He will get to take it. Neary bouncing in the goal, awaiting the go-ahead. He's given the go-ahead. He approaches with the right. He rifles it to the left of Samuel Neary, and a penalty kick goal 5 minutes in to the second half will lead to the lead going to WNCC. Palvera Montoya, the freshman from Spain, earning the foul and putting it in on the penalty kick, and Western Nebraska has the 1-0 lead. Cougars now 4 shots already in the second half, 1 the entire first 45. And the Plainsmen find themselves behind, giving up the first goal in the game, so you're going to have to do some work in the remaining 40. It's doable. No question about it, especially the way the Plainsmen played in the first half. But you have to strike back now. I've said it on broadcast before. The first 5 after a goal, especially a PK like that, most dangerous because you get a little lax defensively. And once you have that front side, this Cougar team has shown great discipline defensively in the game. And the Cougars will possess the ball in the middle after the Plainsmen failed to be able to work it forward. Through ball from Abil, tried to back foot it onto the far side. Plainsmen pick it up through the middle with Oliveira. Foul whistled on WNCC as the Plainsmen got Henneberry into a position, and Kaja got on the hips. Plainsmen start the kick, and War boots the ball across and into the WNCC tent. Body language changed pretty quickly on this Plainsman side when you gave up that foul just outside the 18 and in the one inside that led to the PK goal that has WNCC 1-0. Got to get back on top of it because the Cougars are the far fresher team in the first 5. Booed out of the center back for Ollie Veda for NJC. Taken away for WNCC. Veda again clearing a through attempt. It's headed down and forward to the goal scorer in Molina. Or Montoya, pardon me. Molina was there. Plainsmen work from the middle this time. Nothing successful there. Ball headed out by WNCC on the far line. Plainsman with the throw. Barta hadn't been able to get free much this game. He had that one opportunity in the first half. He had the ball right in front of the goalkeeper, but got between his legs and he couldn't get a clean look on it. Out of the backside, the Plainsmen not covering a lot of real estate today, and opportunity there, and the ball just sails out at the center stripe. Cougars toss it in. War overruns the ball trying to take it off, and the Cougars have little number push to the near side. Sean Kim works with a quick dribble through the center. Ball rolled out, takes a hop over the foot of Barta. Cougars push it across Silvaggio, then finds Kaja. Kaja rolls it down into the corner. Running toward that corner is Hernandez, but too hot for him to be able to chase it down. WNCC with a 1-0 lead in minute number 54. Plainsman quickly threaded up the near side. Henneberry dribbles his way past the defense of Kaja, working toward the left. Kaja gets the side foot and rolls it out on the end, so it will be a corner kick for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Their second corner of the game. They got a shot on in their only corner in the first half. Plainsmen working inside the 18 and the 6. Corner in, header down for Philip Barta, but can't be possessed by the Plainsmen. Cougars try to boot it over the top. Ball rocketed high in the air twice to allow the defense to get back into place. Cracknell looking to calm it down. Cougars work it through. Molina chips it forward to Montoya. Montoya back across the middle to Molina. Molina rolls it on to the far side. Step over for Abeal. Abeal fires one high of the goal and into the netting. Cougars, who won the possession battle in the first half but didn't win the quality of possession battle, winning the quality of possession battle in the second half. 55th minute, 1-0 in favor of WNCC. Ball bounded shy of the sprinting forward Hugo Brett. The Cougars take it and they reverse field to the far side. Stanley Lord through ball. Run toward Lemus. Lemus couldn't quite do enough with it. It's cleared out by the Plainsman defense back toward the middle line. Plainsman volleyball plays tonight against Barton. 5th-ranked team in the nation is NJC. 3rd-ranked is Barton. There's been action going on since 9:30 a.m. over at the Bank Colorado Event Center with 6 nationally ranked teams in town for the 41st Sheila Worley Tournament presented by the Eastern Plains Sports Network. A lot of great teams have been here. A lot of great action has already been played. Big ball launched forward, shot in. Neary saving the shot of Oscar Molina. 4th save of the contest, 3rd of the second half for Samuel Neary, but it will lead to a corner kick for WNCC, their 3rd this afternoon. Molina takes the near side corner kick this side, out swinging one with the right foot, quickly knocked down for NJC, and a seam to run it forward for Banks. Banks dribbles past everybody. Right at the middle line, WNCC will wrestle it away with Lemus taking it off of Banks' foot. Ball flung forward Kaja, and then he comes up shy of his intended target, Sean Kim. Plainsman Rip it back out toward the center stripe where Western Nebraska will repossess it. Hugo Brett stepping in, and a foul whistled on Brett as he took out Kaja, the Canadian. Quick start by Molina over everybody's head and out on the end line. Subs on early in this second half for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Minute number 58. Warren will take a seat, as will Alec Cracknell, Luca, and Harry in. Plainsmen down 1-0. Not had a shot in the second half after taking 9 through the first 45. Ball forward to Philip Barta. Barta shoved to the pitch, and we will get a stoppage as Kaja was given the yellow. So the Plainsmen will have the kick and an opportunity to tilt the pitch back in their favor for the first time in this second half in minute number 59. Harry Marr, the guy putting the boot into it. Marr, high floater into the box. No Plainsman body there as the header comes out. Popped up high, tried to be rounded about for Strickland, but he couldn't turn it forward. Battle for Brett. He knocks it down, and Luca will pick it up to the left side of the 18. Gets taken off his foot. Great bit of defense for WNCC by Salvaggio. Salvaggio crosses it back in, and the Cougars have numbers. Montoya, spearheaded forward, puts it to the wrong side of Abil. Abil recovers down in the corner, trying to work end line. On a cross, he loses his defender, rolls it back out near the top of the 18. Shot fired high at the goal for WNCC by Anthony Lemus. The Cougars in the first 15 minutes of this second half have already amassed 7 shots after collecting just 1 in the first half. 4 of those 7 have gone on goal as well. 3 saved and the goal to make it 1-0. Far side, Plainsman off the goal kick. Forward for Banks. Header up and out near the center stripe. Throw for the Plainsman. Lucas undercut as he attempts to possess the throw. 8th foul of the contest on Western Nebraska, 2nd since halftime. Down into the corner, the Plainsmen push it, and a big launch out of bounds for WNCC from Jean-Will Stanley Lord, the Canadian center back. We have a couple players down on the pitch relacing footwear. About the 3rd time Ollie's had to put that same shoe on. For the Northeastern Plainsmen. Very deep on the throw-in. Dropped up for the Northeastern Plainsmen, 61st minute, trailing 1-0, and the inbound is booted out by the WNCC defense. Throw this time will be taken by Ethan Banks. Banks pushes it in, header up by Barta. Barta calms his own header down, but then gets it taken off his foot. Western Nebraska reverses field over to the near side, and they may have numbers. Sean Kim. Good bit of defense for Luca to block the opportunity down into the corner. Picked up for WNCC, threw ball into Kim, and it's just too hot off his foot and out on the end line. Plainsman will have a substitution in minute number 62. Or Cougars, pardon me, will. That is Tamaki Kamaya, the freshman from Japan, who created in the first half the only shot from Juan Macias. He's replacing Oscar Molina, who's been very active on the front side of that offense. That'll move Sean Kim into a forward role. Thank you. Plainsman on the far side pick the ball up, and a collision between a couple Plainsman players. They still keep the possession. Luca trying to chip it forward, and a foul on Western Nebraska. Grabbing the jersey of Luca Mami. Plainsman quickly try to restart it. Luca arguing on the quick restart that the Plainsman should have been afforded it. The foul happened much further back than where the Plainsmen are attempting to start it. Ollie Veda is back where the ball was when the foul occurred. Ball chipped in to Oliver Strickland. Strickland down into the corner. Newell was found by Barta, but he could not keep it on his foot, and it rolls out on the far sideline. 63rd minute, NJC trailing WNCC 1-0 on a 50th minute penalty kick goal. Plainsmen produced 9 shots in the first half, have not produced any in the second half. 9 shots taken by 8 different players in half number 1. It was a great half of football that just did not produce anything on the scoreboard. Cougars battle for the ball and take it away in the middle. Sean Kim now spearheading through the center of the offense. He gets the ball a little too far off his foot, and it's booted back to the center stripe for the Plainsmen. The Cougars looking to run it through. Philip Barta takes it away. Lukamami down the far line. He's battling for the ball and keeps the possession. Luka crosses it through to Barta off a foot. It bangs into the Cougar defense, and the Cougars turn and quickly thread it back through with Salvaggio. His through ball way far forward. Nobody able to chase that down for WNCC. Cougars probably still have another 15 minutes or so where you keep the foot on the gas before you pack it in to try and close the final 10. So if you're NJC, that's when you're going to have the real space to create something offensively over this next 15 minutes. Trailing 1-0 once they pack it in and have 5 back, and those midfielders not creeping in front of that front line, it's going to be tough to find space if you're the Plainsmen. All worked up the far side. Veda to Strickland, just shy of the intended man in Marr. Marr keeps the pressure on, trying to create a turnover, forces a rollback all the way on goal. Boot out to the midfield stripe and then some as it bounds all the way back on Samuel Neri. Samuel gives it to Ollie Veda. You've got that wind blowing off that right that's bending toward the near side. You could use that on a big ball over the top. Neither side's elected to work that real estate through the air much this afternoon. Salvaggio, midfield line for WNCC, puts it back. Here's a big leg in Kaja. He chips it way wide of everybody, though. He wanted to boot it, then he thought, well, no, let's just float it, and kind of halfway in between doing both, and it's Plainsman ball. Off the pitch will come Will Newell. Matteo Verdame Rousseau, the Italian freshman, will come in. Hugo Brett will reverse sides of the field he's on, and Verdame Rousseau will battle on this near side of the pitch. Plainsman chip it up and forward. Bouncer. Stanley Lord, header toward the near line. Battle down on the near side for Marr, and he wins it. Marr looking to cross it as he enters the 18. Cross goes out off the Cougars on the end line. It is, no, it's out off of him before he attempted the cross. Good work by Marr, though, to keep the pressure on that ball. Give the Plainsmen a little bit of life offensively. WNCC brings in Jeff Geary for the first time in this second half. 67th minute. 1-0 our tally. You've gone beyond the 5, and we'll have a stoppage here as Samuel Aneri is seated back defensively. The Northeastern Junior College Plainsmen and the WNCC Cougars battling for the 3 points. And for WNCC, you go on the road. If you can take the full amount of points when you go on the road, where it's about the 68th minute.
Okay.
I'm just guessing. Neri is up after the stoppage in play. He'll head to the sideline. Now the question is he forced off? Trainer never did have to come on. I don't believe he will be forced off here. He's back on. Maybe just dealing with cramping issue, but again, no trainer necessary on that. Coverage on the Eastern Plains Sports Network made possible by Coons Pump and Well Supply. Don't wait until the last minute to solve all your irrigation, well, and watering supplies. 970-522-2035. Wind picking up a little bit more, kind of turning on this field as well. The players get back onto the field, and WNCC will put it back into play. 23 minutes remaining. Boot from the goalkeeper comes out to the center stripe. Plainsman will win the 50-50, though, even though the first touch went to the Cougars. Harry Marr, battling for the ball, comes up with it and works it around onto the near side, but just wide of Luca. Cougars pick it up, ball goes out. Last touched by the Plainsmen on a battle with Juan Macias. That's WNCC ball in half number 2 of this Region 9 affair. Throw in header, sandwiched between a couple players. Wrestle for the ball, and a foul whistled on the Plainsman as Oliver Strickland was trying to take it off the foot of Alvaro Abil. It's the second time Strickland was battling for a ball that resulted in a foul. The previous time was when Montoya ended up with a PK goal back in the 50th minute. Quick sprint, far side, foot down, taken away for the Plainsman. Banks, quick tries, rolled in across the middle. Finds Stickland, who bangs it off a Cougar defender. Ball up, and WNCC a handball as they tried to calm it down. The Plainsmen down 1-0. Booted in from the center stripe out toward the near corner. Run down by Mateo. Mateo pushing, looking for a cross. Sails up near the top of the 18 off the chest of Stickland, and he can't get a foot on it. Cougars battle far side with Kim. And it goes out. Last touch by WNCC. Plainsmen still in search of their first shot of the second half. After 9 in the first half, they have been skunked offensively right now. Plainsman will have a throw near the Cougar bench. About 20 minutes remaining in this afternoon's Region 9 men's contest. Women will follow. Header for the Cougars out. Good amount of real estate covered, though, to the far corner, or toward the far corner. Banks. Throw it in, headed for the Cougars out. Hugo Brett quickly quells it. Turns and pushes toward the corner, tries to cross it in. It's deflected by the Cougar defense. Plainsman back out to the mid-stripe. Oliveira going to try and reverse field to the near side, bending toward the near corner. It sails wide of the intended target, and Verdame Rousseau. The Cougars defense will quickly take it away. Kaja bouncing it out, short of the intended target. Harry Marr comes up with it. Marr flipping it down toward the corner, but nobody giving chase, except for Anthony Lemus, the Cougar midfielder. It's taken off of Lemus's foot, quickly set in, blocked by Stanley Lord on the take-in from Barta. Headed up, ball taken away, and we get a foul. The foul, which side? Because the Cougars are pleading as if the foul's on them. It's actually on NJC. The 11th Plainsman foul of the game, the 5th since halftime. Cougars, after dominating possession about at a 60-40 clip in the first half from time standpoint, probably 75-25 in this second half, and they've had all the quality chances. And work it over the top, and Kamaya gives it off to Sean Kim. High floater comes across to the near side, and Hernandez gives it off to Macias out of the center back. Floated up high by Dash Fowler, who's done a fine job in that center back position today. He and Oliveira have kind of been the two that have captained the center of that Plainsman defense. Dribble back and a back foot for a through ball toward the near side. Completely mishandled in a funky hop as Verdame Rousseau tried to clear it out, and it went off the wrong side of his foot. The Plainsmen run it up. Midfield taken away for WNCC and Sean Kim. Hernandez pulling back. About 15 minutes remaining this afternoon. Stanley Lord pushing it in, and the Cougars just wearing that possession down, dribbling through toward the near side, wide of the intended target, too wide, and out in the corner. As Abil was the intended man for Salvaggio, but he couldn't come up with it. Plainsman off the throw, quickly working up the near side. Luca forward to Philip Barta. Barta taking off his foot for WNCC. They turn back down onto the near side. Abil backs it back off. Macias, and now the Cougars roll back defensively. Big ball away from center stripe over everybody's head and easily swallowed up by Samuel Neri. Verdame Rousseau. Gives it off, then Luca Mami with it, back over, cross far side, Oliveira. Veda. Spence looking for a take. Header up, back off onto the near side, and quickly calmed down by WNCC. Then Abil dribbling through everybody. He doesn't have numbers, but he has an angle. Ball off a foot. Plainsmen have to quickly clear it back out toward the center where WNCC repossesses it. About the 78th minute of this Region 9 men's soccer contest. NJC remains down 1-0 on a 50th minute penalty kick goal. Header high out toward the midfield line and booted way back onto the Cougar defense. These two teams have played a 1-0 game in their history. Back in 2017 at the Region 9 men's soccer semifinals. Dribble away and a ball rolled down onto the far side. Philip Barta turns, rips a shot up off the netting. Barta, first shot of the second half, high of the goal, but that's first take for NJC in close to 40 minutes. Harry Marr takes a seat. Plainsman, couple subs on. One of whom is Guillaume Yao, the freshman from France. He will be that front end of the striker. He's definitely made an impression this season in his time on the pitch. Yao up in front with Luca Mami. Then the Plainsmen will also have Alec Cracknell, who came back on in that forward foray. He's more of a midfield than that striker. NJC still using that 2 forward, 2 midfield, and then 3 center mid and 3 defensive mid kind of formation, although it truly lays out to be about a 5 defender layup. Just gives them a couple different angles they can work with it. Hugo Brett, one of those defenders, trying to work off the right side. Can't get to the ball. He's down, grasping at an ankle. We will get a stoppage as a corner kick has been produced out of it. The second corner kick of the second half for the Northeastern Plainsmen. 1 shot on in 2 corners this afternoon. Luca will be the one putting the ball down in the corner as NJC gets everybody back toward the goal to try and wreak some havoc. Luca boots it in. It spins over everybody's head down into the near corner. Verdami Rousseau will chase it down. He turns and spins across defensively. And the ball went out, I believe, off of the Cougar defense when he had it there, so it will lead to a second corner for NJC. Or no, a foul will be whistled there, so a shortened corner. 10th foul of the game on Western Nebraska. 20 feet off the corner. Very sharp angle taken here for NJC, is very deep on the end line. Boot chipped up, headed by Guillaume Yao, but headed wrong way. Ball knocked down in the box. Shot fired toward the right of the goal, and then a rip in for Verdami Rousseau. But a save for WNCC on the first shot on in this second half. Guzman's 5th of the game. And then on the whistle, we had a kick given just outside the top of the 18. So this is a dangerous spot for NJC, having already put one on in the midst of this foray. Another opportunity to take here for Luca Mami. Luca with the left, spins it up over the top of the crossbar. Plainsman wanting to get the touch from Guzman, the goalkeeper, but didn't. But nonetheless, that's some sustained offense the Northeastern Plainsmen have developed here. As we approach the end of the game. We'll stop the clock as the Cougars are taking too much time. So Guzman, once given the whistle, will go ahead again. I would venture to say we've got roughly 10 minutes left in this one. This is where WNCC is going to start packing the defense in and preventing anything from developing for NJC to maintain their 1-0 lead. Plainsmen take the ball off the goal kick. Luca Mami works in, ball off a defender. Finds the foot to the near side, Stickland for Dame Rousseau. He rips one way high and over Pioneer Road and into the ditch on the far side. But that is the fourth shot of the last 5 minutes of gameplay for the Northeastern Plainsmen. They try and find the equalizer in the final 10 of this second half. Guzman, long 2/3 of the field covered with his goal kick. Plainsman will take the possession with not a lot of bodies forward, and then the Cougars try and find a seam, maybe an extra bit there, and handball on the Cougars as the Plainsmen tried to push to the far touchline. The Plainsmen quickly restart. Roll to the near side for Dame Rousseau to Cracknell, who skips it forward for Guillaume Yao. Wide of his intended target, header. Ball through to Guillaume Yao. Touch near side for Verdame Rousseau. Lord Stanley bodying him off the ball. He crosses it in. Cougar defense picks it up and quickly sails back up to the top. Molina puts a through ball to the near side to Abil. Abil turns, rifles one in. Samuel Neary with another save, his fifth of the contest. Booed out to the midfield line, quickly calmed down by Luca Mami. Ball's tackled off his foot, no foul given as Kaja came away with the takeaway. Cougars quickly working back in. Plainsman defense takes the ball off the foot, and Verdame Rousseau will quickly try and boot it through, but it's denied the through ball toward Luca Mami. Kaja wide out off the right side, sub at the line for NJC as Philip Barta is going to check back in. He's been the striker for much of this game for NJC. He'll add himself to that front line as Hugo Brett, I believe, no, Hugo's not headed to the line, or headed to the bench. Maybe he is. Yeah, he is. Hugo Brett's the one that looks like he exited. Throw in for NJC, so pulling one of the five defensemen, if you will. Ball out off of NJC right in front of us. WNCC will get it back. Hernandez throw, and then a big boot given back to him. Sailed to the center of the pitch. Plainsman swallowing it up. No, Brett stayed on, so I'm not sure who came off for NJC with the return of Philip Barta. Oh, it was Liam Enneberry that exited, that now has the penny on the sideline. Restart off the Cougars' 12th foul. Guillaume Yao working out off the Cougars. Guy quickly tosses it in for Dame Rousseau. Battling and wins the ball. Looks for a cross with the left. Turn back to him. Battling down into the near corner. Tries to slide it across, and it's short of his intended target, but the clear out. Knocked down by Cracknell onto the foot of Stickland, who fires it to the far side. Header for Barta up. Lost it in midair, and the Cougars will pick it back up and fling it back out to the center pitch. By my tally, 6 minutes left in this one, maybe just a tick left. Down on the far side, ball goes out off of WNCC, and Hugo Brett, a deep throw in for the Plainsmen. Down 1-0. 50th minute goal for the Cougars on a penalty kick, the only scoring we've had this afternoon. Throw launched into the 18 over the head of Barta as he tried to turn it on with the head. Cougars boot it up. Plainsmen roll it back. Oliveda, the only guy that is playing behind the center stripe, and even Samuel Neary, he's out toward the midfield line. Neary, the goalkeeper, boots it, trying to tip the pitch and give NJC a chance to get the equalizer and salvage at least 1 point out of this Region 9 affair. All threaded down and then cleared back out for WNCC, and a near midfield throw, the result. Samuel Neary sails the boot up near side. Header forward for Dame Rousseau. Guillaume Yao turns down into the corner, just out to the right of the goalkeeper. For Dame Rousseau, sails it up just too high for Barta. Ball deflected by the defense. Out, and the shot from Harry Marr doesn't get through. Cougars turn, and they have a 2-on-2 up the near side. Abil leading it. Tries to work to his right. Appeared to trip and fall under his own accord, but apparently was helped by Luca Mami. The Plainsmen's 12th foul of the contest, and we'll stop play as I think maybe Luca is going to be issued a card here for the protest following, and he is. So Luca picks up the card for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Third of the season for the sophomore. So Abil with the clock stop, my guess on that card, and also on the stoppage, any substitutional stop, as I think we're in the final 5 now of a 1-goal game. Plainsman Walls marched off. And Alvaro Abil, who has 2 shots, 1 on. Will be given the go-ahead. He rips one in and saved by Samuel Neary. He punches it out far side. So Neary's 6th save of the contest. Plainsman trying to run over the top of it, but the Cougars not taking the foot off the gas. They roll it back in. 4 to go. Plainsman down 1-0. For Dame Rousseau, the intended target near side. Ball rolls out as he could not get a foot on it. Quick toss in to Molina. Molina's done a great amount of work in the middle of the pitch, and foul called on this near side, or hand on ball on this near side, will lead to a kick for WNCC. Cougars with Salvaggio just elect to possess now, and this is, hey, we have the 1-0 lead. We're going to roll it all the way back and take as much time. Let those precious seconds tick off the clock, but you have to possess it here. You can't turn it over. Plainsman trying to create a turnover on the far side, but WNCC keeps it. Big ball over and an offside on WNCC, as he was 2 steps behind the back line was Laguirre. Plainsman will start it with Oliveda. Quick ball up. Luca Mami. Near side for Verdame Rousseau. Verdame Rousseau serves it up cross. Too far for Cracknell to chase down, and out on the end line. Sub at the line for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Liam Enneberry will come back in, replacing Harry Marr. The closing minutes of this Region 9 affair. Plainsman, heartbreaker yesterday, scoring first on Laramie County. Gave up 2 second-half goals 3 minutes apart and ended up losing 2-1. Had the win in the conference opener against Trinidad, then were blanked in a very poor showing last Saturday against Otero. Was excited to see the numbers yesterday in this first half here today. NJC outshot WNCC 9-1 in the first half, but couldn't find the back of the net. WNCC in this second half. They've taken 9 shots. NJC has 4 of them, all kind of bunched together in that about 6-minute span in the 75th to 81st minute. Plainsmen roll it back as time ticks down toward the end of this one. Header forward. Plainsmen all bodies beyond the center stripe now. Dribble through and a take free. Guillaume Yao, the intended target, wide of him. Cracknell coming for it. Ball put up in the air. Verdame Rousseau draws a foul as he goes up for a header. WNCC, the 13th foul of the game, and will stop the clock. And a delay and a card for Alvaro Abil as he was hovering over the ball for too long before the restart. And JC has a sub at the line, but I don't know that you're going to see him in now. That is Will Newell, I believe, who started the game. Given the go-ahead, Luca Mami from 30. He bends it to the right of the box. Header for the defense. Back out on the near side. Ball picked up. Veda tries to flip it forward. Ball knocked down. Veda contests again, and it ends up on the foot of Mami. He'll hit a floater into the box. Header up high. Guillaume Yao turns it down and rifles a one-timer underneath the crossbar in minute number 89. A huge equalizer goal for the Northeastern Plainsmen. Chested down by a big ball, bent under the crossbar. And the Northeastern Plainsmen have equalized this contest. Guillaume Yao beautifully played in and gets the 89th minute goal. That is an incredible bit of play there. Give the assist to Verdame Rousseau on the cross in. The defense knocked it down, cleared it out. He put it up. Guillaume Yao chested it down, and the freshman from France into the back of the net to tie the game at 1. He may have just salvaged 1 point on this Saturday afternoon. Big boot up for WNCC off the restart. We'll see how much more time we play in this. Samuel Neary collects it. Ball booted up high. Past the center stripe. Guillaume Yao knocks it down once again, but he's whistled for the foul as he tugs Kaja to the pitch. 13th Plainsman foul. Cougars trying to get back to the 3 points as they quickly sprint forward. High cross in. Ball knocked high into the sky for the Plainsman. Guillaume Yao gets it footed forward to him from Liam Enneberry. Yao dribbling down toward the corner, looking for a cross. He steps across a couple defenders. Backs it back off to Verdame Rousseau. Verdame Rousseau through the middle to Luca Mami. Luca to his right. He puts it high up and in. Cracknell across to Barta down into the corner. Hugo Brett rips one high and off the netting, and that will do it in minute number 89 with 50 seconds left. Guillaume Yao finds the equalizer for the Northeastern Plainsmen. And a beautiful play, setting that up by the man you just saw on the video screen in Mateo Verdame Rousseau. He created that cross that allowed Guillaume Yao to get the equalizer. That might be the most thrilling 1-1 draw in NJC soccer history, getting the goal in the final minute. Plainsmen and Cougars come up with a tie. Plains women coming up next. You're listening to Northeastern Soccer on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.